I co-wrote it with a couple people, and we wanted to do a song that was a bit darker, something kind of dealing with feeling like you've gotten your heart broken, or you've been disappointed by something, or your beliefs are being challenged in a way. But then that beat comes in, and that's like the medicine. That's the thing that makes you want to like kind of move through it and feel strong and get past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you worked with Max on this. You were talking about that earlier. Just the process of that.
Yeah, Max Martin. If you guys don't know, he's responsible for some incredible albums and singles, and it's been an honor to work with him. He's amazing.
If you pre-order the album, I'm just going to give the album a plug. You can get the single right now. You can download it for free. So that's kind of a bonus.
Yeah, the original high. The Valley High.
Have you seen Adam and People with his mom?
Yes, we bought it. Yes.
Hey, Mom. Yeah.
Love her haircut, by the way.
She looks good, right?
So
She's
good.
Rock and roll.
So good.
Yeah.
She looks great. And,
you know who she looks like to me with that new haircut?
Who?
You seen Veep?
Yeah.
She looks just like her.
You mean
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis, yes.
And they they're both from Jersey. It's a little, like, I watched that show and I'm like, it's my mom. Sweet, it's my mother.
One of the sweet things that was in the People magazine is that Adam always texts his mom back whenever she texts him. And we were talking a little bit earlier about his connection to people and to women and what is the Lambert thing all about? And you admitted that you're a mama's boy.
Maybe. Yeah. That's probably it. That's probably the connection.
And there's something very lovable and wonderful about you. Yeah.
I think it's because he's always honest. You're just real and always honest.
I try.
And that's so rare these days. And
it gets you into trouble sometimes.
And that's okay though. It will never get you into actual trouble. Just trouble with the people that don't get it.
Yeah, or the media. Yeah.
No, we don't. No.
Who's first? Who wants to ask a question?
On your last album, how much of that is experiences from? How much of the songs, pardon me, are
from personal things?
Yeah.
I mean, as much of it as I can, I try to make real. Like when I'm writing stuff, it's coming from
relationship,
something I've been through, or it's coming from something that I've seen a friend go through. So it's usually coming from something real in my life. That last album was that way. This album is definitely that way. I got together. I had some time off before this album started being written, and before the Queen stuff picked up, and I'm pretty social, and I was going out at dinners and clubs and hanging out with friends and stuff at my house, and I love chit-chatting and pretending like I'm a talk show host sometimes. And asking questions to people and wanting to like understand what we're all going through kind of as a circle, and like the greater picture, what's it all for, and all this stuff. And that was one of the things that really inspired a lot of the songs on this new one, is that the things that we're all going through in common, no matter your age or your gender or whatever else that separate us. And one of the things that I noticed was that everybody, especially in that circle up in LA, everybody seems to kind of be chasing something, and they don't quite know even what it is that they're after. And it's like a blind drive, And I think that it can get a little bit frustrating, because you're like, God, I'm like searching for something and I'm longing for something, but I can't even tell myself what it is. And it gets a little scary, and it gets a little bit, you kind of get into a cycle, and one of the songs in the album, The Original High, is about that. And it sounds very dramatic the way I'm describing it, but it's not necessarily a negative thing.
Very obscure.
It's just kind of, it's a little bit mysterious, like what's the answer? I don't know, and I think for me personally, and for a lot of my friends, I'm getting into a place in my life where I'm okay with not knowing. It's like okay to be like, I don't know what it is, I don't know what it is I'm looking for, what it is.
Just live in the present.
Yeah, just try to kind of like one thing at a time.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what The Original High is about, that song in particular. Chasing the original high is the hook, so.
Good job, congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice.
You mentioned touring with Queen.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Little band called
little band.
Where did you go that you loved? You got a great reception. I'm looking forward to some crazy.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
There you go.
Well, that's the thing that kicked it all off in Vegas. If it hadn't been for that, I don't think we would have put together the tour. you know, we were asked to headline that night, and it was about a 25-minute medley of.
And you killed it.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was really fun. It was a great night, and
Sorry,
and
Delana.
everybody loved it so much that we were like, all right, let's put a tour together. Let's do this thing for real. And I really love Europe a lot. I really love it there. It's the history, the fashion, the art. So I had a lot of fun in some of those cities, and here being home, you know, being in LA at the Forum, I was like, I have all my friends and family
That's where
there.
I saw you.
I
saw you
there.
there. I was there.
Yeah, that was a good night. Madison Square Garden was crazy.
What?
Everyone played that.
Yes.
It was wild.
All of it.
It was great. Had a good time.
Who's next?
How much being around Brian and Roger has influenced you just in the way you look at things now, or maybe even your songwriting?
You know, you said it exactly. I mean, it definitely kind of, they've been through so long, you know, in the music business since like the golden era of rock and roll, you know, so their perspective is really rich and they have the big picture, you know what I mean? And we talked a lot, you know, when we were traveling, and without even being direct with me, they kind of reminded me of what's important and why we do what we do, you know, the bigger picture, and not to kind of sweat the small things. And being on stage with them and doing these iconic pieces of music for adoring fans of the band, that kind of reminded me why I wanted to be a singer in the first place, you know, getting on stage and giving people some sort of entertainment. Well, thank you. Yes, I get both a lemon and a lime.
Don't you need something stronger?
No, I'm working. It's early.
So this is a big change because of the change of labels and the whole thing, and just it's apparent to us as Lamberts that they're doing something right. Like Original High is being promoted. Ghost Town is being played on radio stations. It's on the American Top 40. It's local.
Happening!
It's everywhere. So excited, and so I guess I'm wondering what your perspective is. You know, the change of labels and what the previous label was doing and what they weren't doing and what the new label is doing and what
Max and just all of it.
Right.
It's like,
Because
we're all just like, finally, they're gonna notice. Come on.
I think it's gonna happen. I hope it is. And
because we love Trespassing.
Yes.
It was a great album. I'm really proud
It
of it.
was.
And I stand
It's
by
on
it.
repeat
You know,
all the time.
Listen, I've learned a lot in the last few years about timing is huge, and the setup is huge. You know, having the right song at the right time is half the battle, but you have to like set the table for dinner.
Well, and hasn't technology really changed things? It's no longer like call in your request. Like,
I don't think it's been calling your request for a long time.
Right, I'm sorry.
We're old, Adam. We're old. Come on. We used to use rotary phones to dial in our requests. Come on.
So they're using all these analytics, you know, in
And
Spotify.
tweet it and Spotify. And
Shazam's actually the big one now. I mean, Lambert spread the word. Shazam the heck out of the song. It's great. It helps a lot.
Well, they told us to only do it once, or is it once a day?
Once a day, yeah.
Shazam?
Yeah. They
I
only
think
count it
I don't know how it works.
Any of your other songs.
Wow, you guys have the system down.
No, we
Shoshanna's been like,
we are Glambert.
But you know, the thing is that I think I'm also personally in a different place than I was in 3 years ago.
Right.
I just feel a lot more like relaxed in general about everything. I think I was holding on to some fear before about like, oh God, I hope this, you know, is this my last chance? And you know, all these anxieties, and part of that had to do with the setup and the people I was working with, and now I'm just in a different place. And having done the thing with Brian and Roger, having gone on the tour, really gave me a nice renewed sense of self and faith in music and what it can do, and kind of encouraged me to stop fretting about the business side of it, and trusting my team that I put together, because they're actually unbelievable. And Warner, all the people I'm working with at Warner are so fantastic. And I had an executive, and ultimately the team that put together the album, that I co-wrote it with and produced it. Max Martin and Shellback are like the best of the best. You can't really screw with that. I mean, that's their track record's like
some of the biggest names.
So the trust was really there. The minute we decided to do this together, I had like a sigh of relief, because I knew that I could just come in as the vocalist, as the artist, as the writer, and not have to worry so much about all the other stuff. So that's been nice.
The promotion.
Well, I have a quick segue question to that, if I may. You know, Max Martin is the end-all be-all name, and he's had so many pop hits that pop. And I look at you as so much more than pop. Like, your voice is the best voice in the universe right now.
But pop
and pop
right now
is
all of it. But pop's everything.
Okay, and
It's
if you
changed.
like it, we
Pop
love
is
it.
pop.
But we just know that we just need to hear you and your voice.
Get
and
ready,
that,
this album goes off. That's what
Okay, all right. Then we will trust you. We will
Right.
trust Max. We will
No,
trust
because
it.
there's something for everybody on it.
I don't want them to turn you into this pop thing, like,
What does that even mean, honey?
because he was responsible for all Britney and Backstreet and all the
And
everybody,
Kelly
and
Clarkson
that's
and
great.
Pink.
And that's great. And I love Pink.
Don't
We met you at Pink.
Don't you love Pink?
I love Pink.
And Pink hasn't compromised. She's
Okay, so you're gonna be that guy. You will always
I'm
be
gonna
that
be
guy
Adam.
to us.
I'm gonna be Adam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just needed to hear you say that because I'm like, please don't change him. I love
Don't
him.
worry. Don't you worry.
I love
Just
you
come
so
along
much.
for the ride.
I am here with
Come
you on the
along.
ride right now.
So I had an idea on the way over here, and I was thinking maybe that you and Madonna could go on tour. You know,
I don't think that's gonna be
Ghost Town, Ghost Town, right? No, you don't think so? Anybody else want to ask one more?
Your voice has such incredible range, and I wondered if your voice ever fatigues, and do you
all the time.
So do you have to have rest periods? And
Yeah, on the
in a
tour.
technical way, when you do the sort of controlled scream at very high range, is it technique all the time? Do you keep the same technique?
And a shot of tequila. No, you know, on the tour, I noticed that there were days where I had to just be quiet all day, like days off, because that show was 2 hours of really intense singing, and you travel on top of it, and it's cold and all that stuff. So, yeah, I had to just stay quiet when I wasn't singing on the tour. Definitely. Yeah.
Anything else you want us to know about? I mean,
I can just keep chit-chatting all day. This is
When
can we expect a tour for?
I don't know. I mean, nothing's planned yet. I think it's really early. I know everybody's excited to come see a tour, but what we should be focusing on is getting these songs out there first, because that's going to create a bigger. That way, I can tour and do a bigger show.
You know we're on it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
We're
I
on
want to
it.
be able to.
We're on it.
Yeah.
We're like, we're getting it.
You know, this is we're only just 2 weeks into the first single, so hopefully there's a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, and it's going to be a huge hit.
I hope
Are you
so.
happy with seeing how the results have been? Getting the
This,
airplanes
you know, the
rolling and
first week,
growing?
you know, this is technical stuff, but the first week of Ghost Town has been my best week at radio ever. As far as the amount of attention and hype and ads and response. So we're off to a really, really, really good start. And it's early, so yeah.
One more question.
If no one's ever said to you, thank you, just because you always let fans tape you and put you on the YouTubes, and like you're not like no, and you're always like defending the crowd and the glamours and like no, and we appreciate that, because so many people are divas and they're just like no, don't, I can't, and you always let us, because that's how we get through our days sometimes, is just watching you on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes. You know, so I on behalf of all glamours, I will say thank you very much for that.
You.
Because
thank
we
you guys
appreciate
for
it.
all the passion.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
On behalf of the LGBT as well.
The what?
LGBT. We appreciate your help too.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You know,
Absolutely.
we really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
You know, he's going to be walking around, so you guys can talk to him one-on-one. We're going to have, it lets you enjoy your appetizers, have a few drinks. So
You're off the clock, I'm buying you a drink. So I can tell my grandchildren that I bought you a drink.
San Francisco in a minute.
Okay.
Gotta keep it together, kids.
All right.
Hydrate.
we can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you.
Just,
Thank you so much.
and be able to do this with you